Hi there, welcome and thank you so much for being here. We're gonna do a timeless and collective reading. Whenever this reading finds you, it's the right time. Just keep in mind, it's a general reading. See which messages feel like they resonate for you and hopefully bring clarity to whatever you're wondering. Remember that divine inner guidance, it's in you. And try to make balanced decisions between logic and intuition so your decisions are sound and based in love and for the highest, greatest good of everyone. So we're all uplifted in love. I did a little pre-pull of the energy, and your message is to trust your gut, to really trust how you feel about someone, something, an environment, the overall energy in a situation. I actually hear approach, maybe your approach, maybe somebody's approaching you. This could be trusting your gut on when it's time to speak or remain silent. Let's see what this is all about. I feel like maybe we should go deep. Hey, let's start deep. Let's go deep into the soul's journey and see what the initial message is. So maybe we need more than one. Let's see what God, Source, Holy Spirit, Christ consciousness, our higher selves, angels and energies of love have for the highest, greatest good of all. What are some messages to be helpful for the energy going on right now, the situation you're thinking about, or a little insight on what's to come? Please and thank you. Peace. So maybe it's trusting your gut if you feel like a certain environment or partnership is not very peaceful. But I feel like you do desire peace in a situation. I just keep hearing approach. So maybe it's all about your approach. I am a being of love and I release all negative energy. So this is you, for some of you, cutting some strings, even distancing yourself from certain people or an environment that does not feel peaceful. If it always feels like you're butting heads or your gut's always churning because there's always something wrong or there's a lot of drama or whatever it is, and you just don't feel like you're a vibrational fit there, it's okay to go to where you feel peaceful, to find this peace within yourself first. But I feel like a lot of you do have a certain person, or I'm getting even like a little place where you just always feel at peace. I feel like you do resonate maybe with a specific person, but I'm getting that you resonate in a specific location. I don't know what that is. That could be a cafe, it could be somebody's house, it could be under a tree in a yard. But I do feel like you feel good there. So maybe it's meditating. I see some of you taking your work, like I see you taking your computer or notes or something like that and going to that place. So maybe you're even working more peaceful when you change up where your environment is. Let's get another message. I kind of like that the color of the card is almost the exact same color as those letters. Maybe like turquoise. It makes me think of the stone. I also thought of the stone Larimar. I think Larimar is from the Dominican Republic. Maybe that's a connection you have. What's another message on peace? Please and thank you. Self-esteem. I like this. This is you believing in yourself. This is you believing in yourself and stepping into your personal power enough to maybe set some boundaries, know what's healthy for you and what is not, and do what you need to do that is beneficial for you and your highest and greatest good. I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. This is your wisdom. Also, some of you are psychically gifted. You're very intuitive. You do have gifts. If you've been thinking about doing anything that involves a spiritual practice or therapy or something like that, and it doesn't feel like that's what you were supposed to be doing in your life, or whatever you were telling yourself or other people were telling you, and your gut is saying that you want to give something a try, no matter how many changes come along with that, be at peace in your decision, because I do feel like some of you are very gifted and you're going to make a very big difference in the world, in people's lives. I do feel like some of you are meant to help others, but when you're helping others, make sure you don't deplete yourself. You have to also give back to yourself, because you can't give from an empty plate. You have nothing to pour out if your cup is empty. So make sure you have that balance. I just feel like some of you are starting to feel better about a project or a talent or something like that that you maybe are natural at, but I feel like you're becoming exceptional at something. So if you were not believing in yourself, or before having lowered self-esteem because of stumbling blocks, or, you know, if something was taking too long, or especially if it's from anybody else's opinion, I feel like that's not going to get in your way anymore. I do feel like you are really stepping into a lot of strength with that. I see you being very proud of yourself, and I started to auto shuffle, so I guess we're going to get one more, and then let's use this as the foundation for the rest of the reading. What is another message to be helpful? Please and thank you. I don't know why I just looked at those colors and thought of New Mexico, or maybe Mexico. I hear Pablo. I hope that's helpful for somebody. What is another message? Please and thank you. Humor. I love this. You got the laughing Buddha here. I love this. I think that humor and laughter is so very powerful. So is music. I don't know why that brought me to music, but I don't know why I just thought of Weird Al. I guess we're gonna have a Weird Al Yankovic song in the playlist. That's really funny. What's the other guy? The other guy that sings about the thrift shop. I don't know, Macklemore or something like that. That song is really funny. I haven't heard it in a long time. Maybe it's about a funny song. Maybe some of you are comedians. Sometimes humor is actually put up as protection. But I'm not really getting that with this. I'm getting that it's humor that is healing. So maybe it's just watching something really funny or seeing the lighter side of a situation. I also do feel like you are going to meet somebody who makes you laugh your ass off, or you just laugh your asses off together, or you already know who that is. And maybe that's the person you need to spend more time with rather than the ones that are churning your gut. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. It's taking the weight off of yourself. If you are really hard on yourself because something's just not working out, or you're trying to figure out a solution, I'm getting that sort of energy where when you're working on a project and you're trying to kind of force creativity, let's just say you have a deadline and you're trying to do something that's really creative, that can kind of block, but that like push actually stalls something. And sometimes the best thing you can do is just put it down, walk away, turn on a good song, take a walk, go to a peaceful place, laugh about something, watch something fun, switch your energy up. And then you'll find that when you go back and you just have released, things will start to flow a lot better. So let's use that as a foundation and go to something else. I feel like we should maybe do the Divine Dog. I really like this little deck. So let's get a Divine Dog. Let's see what the canines of divinity have to say to be helpful. What is a Divine Dog message? Clarity on humor, self-esteem, and peace, and trusting your gut. Another message, please, and thank you. Breakthrough, be bold. Yes, I love this. Hey, and you got some success. So if things were hitting a wall, a roadblock, not moving as fast as you wanted, I actually hear halted altogether. I just thought of like a holster or like a like on somebody on a leash. I feel like you're going to free yourself. Maybe you needed to unhinge yourself from someone or something, or just give yourself a little more freedom. Give yourself the benefit of your deck, the benefit of the doubt. Have a little like slack on yourself. You know, don't be so restrained on something. It does look like you're gonna find a way through. You know, if something was completely fenced in, I don't feel like this is a forceful approach though. I'm getting that it's solid and strong. You were meant to find that hole. You were meant to find that one little, you know, piece of wood that was not hinged on properly. Maybe you just had to look at something in a different angle. I'm also seeing that this is you stepping into your personal power, and I'm also getting that this is an epiphany, like a big, ha! Also relief. I feel like, whew, there it is. I was looking for that weird loose screw the whole time, you know? I feel like you have found a way through. Be bold, and being bold here. I'm also getting that maybe you have somebody around you you just were holding back on having a conversation with. I feel like you're gonna speak up and speak clearly and also be heard. But for some of you, that might be a closure kind of situation. But I feel like it's done peacefully, with love, with confidence, maybe even with a little humor, but I feel like this is a different energy. Maybe humor if you were having a mismatch, or I'm getting sort of miscommunication with someone. I don't feel like that's the closure situation. I feel like that's confusing. So if there was a confusing situation between you and someone else where, you know, the wrong thing was said, or there was misunderstanding that happened via text, or your intention didn't come through and it was taken the wrong way, whatever it is, I feel like that is going to be cleared up. I feel like that will be a breakthrough, and I feel like maybe humor is key. And this is you having the same exact message. This is you honoring your gifts. If some of you are talented at something and you're not pursuing it, if you have a passion project, you know, something that you create and you're not sharing it. I even see you selling something, you know, starting a store. If some of you have this desire in you, but you have to go back to school, honor yourself, whatever you have to do. I feel like you have this knowing, or you've had this knowing for a while, what it is you need to try, or what it is you need to change, or a different direction that you should go. But I feel like you haven't taken that step, or you took a few steps and then backtracked for some reason. Honor your gifts. And this says, I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. I feel like for some of you, even if it's not that you are extremely psychic or clairvoyant or anything like that, I do still feel like you are very wise. And I feel like you also help others I hear break out of a mold or see something in a different way. See the other side of the coin that they couldn't see. So I get that that's through how you communicate. You have success coming. Look at this dog, you got your bone. You look very proud of whatever it is that you were trying to find or trying to accomplish. Honor your gifts. Beautiful. All right, let's do the Lenormand. This is the really pretty Winter Pastures. Let's just see what comes through. Get a little more clarity. These are sort of situational. Sometimes they're people. Let's pull a card on peace, self-esteem, and humor. So a little clarity about peace, being a being of love, releasing all negative energy. That's also negative self-talk that you may have had. That would be just sort of getting in your own way. That's even a self-sabotaging energy. This is looking towards possibilities, even if there's failures. Looking at failures as a way to come up with a solution or as a means to go a different direction. What do we have to know about peace? Please and thank you. It's that, something's going to happen really fast. Maybe this was peace in a situation that was more of an argument. Maybe it's just getting everything out on the table if things weren't addressed. But this is where there's disruption, but it's also an awakening. This is a wake-up call. This is something that does come as a breakthrough in a flash, maybe a solution. But I feel like with this lightning storm, I feel like you could smell something coming. I feel like you knew that electricity was getting closer. You knew that something had to strike soon. And sometimes you need a little disruption, to fix a situation. Sometimes it's that disruption that finally is, I actually see for some of you, it's that no mas, just done. So if there is constant disruptions, maybe it's, I just see you going inside to where it's safe, or I see you grounding yourself, actually going to where you feel grounded, like a lightning rod. So I'm also seeing for some of you, you're in this peaceful energy where maybe if people were pushing the buttons, or maybe they're just energies that are kind of all over the place in emotions, or I don't know, I just get a lot of energy, but I feel like it's pushy energy. And if somebody was kind of trying to push a situation, I feel like it's not about pushing back, it's standing firm and grounded. I almost lost my electric blanket. And not allowing your reaction to be the same as it was, because I feel like that's going to change it all. I feel like there might have been someone trying to just get a reaction out of you. So let's see what the self-esteem and possessing gifts of the soul that are beneficial to you and others. A little clarity, please and thank you. Oh, maybe some of you were, a little unclear. The clouds are going to clear away. You got all this weather. Maybe the weather is going to change, instead of a stormy situation. This is going to bring an epiphany to how you can have a solution or clear something that was kind of foggy. Confusion, uncertainty, and challenges. But it's also a 6. So it might have to do with love or a balance that comes back with something that has to do with your heart. I kind of feel like you become more clear when you start taking a step or two. When you head towards your truth, what you've been thinking about, what you've been desiring. And I also feel like if some of you have a conversation coming through, it is going to maybe make you, I had that relief energy before, maybe that's going to make you feel a lot better that there's now clarity coming in. Let's get a message on humor. What would be helpful to know about focusing on the lighter side of things? Oh, you have a garden. This is beautiful. So maybe it's about being around the right people and not the weird ones, because this is usually, the garden has to do with a party. It's a social event. It's you and others. It's where there's a lot of different energies, but it could just be you and someone else. And there's different representations of that energy. So you could be in a crowd but feel alone, or want to just kind of be doing your own thing and observing. You could be in a crowd with someone else where it's really only about the attention you two have with each other, even though there's other energies going on, and you could be a part of a bigger whole. But this is also telling you that your breakthrough here might come through networking. Maybe you do something online, social media, website. I actually hear website design. Maybe you do that, or you're getting a designer, or maybe it's like revamping your website or your store, your brand, your logo. I hear your font. Maybe you just have to change your font. Social gatherings, events, and networking. I'm kind of getting, if some of you are, I don't know why I say a commercial or something like that. Maybe it's the not so serious approach. Maybe it's actually putting a little humor on something. So you bring that positive energy to whoever you're trying to reach out and connect to. I hope that made sense. I kind of feel like it's going to be received totally different. And also I hear remembered. I feel like there's something some of you are doing where somebody wants to hit repeat. Like they want to see it again. Like they want to show friends. Like, have you seen this? So maybe some of you are doing something online and you're kind of going to the humor side of a situation. Doing something that's funny. I actually see with it here that maybe some of you are doing something with your pet or your animal. I just thought of those weird videos where they do like commentary on top of whatever an animal is doing, like the animal is talking. So maybe it's something like that. I know these are different messages today, but I hope some of that is helpful. I like when they get specific, because I feel like when that resonates with whoever is supposed to have that message, like you're going to know that was for you. So I forgot I brought this. Let's do this one. This is the Healing Waters. This was also one of those decks that was given to me by a very good friend. And I feel very blessed to have this deck. I think the last time I used it is when I was in the creek on that rock. Maybe I was on the beach another time, but I feel now that the season has changed, it might be appropriate to bring this out. So what is a healing water message to be helpful? Please and thank you. Oh, it's tiny. It's funny. I think this might be the same card that came through. It's Metamorphosis. It's complete change. This is so beautiful. This is big. This is you breaking out of the cocoon. This is you breaking out of a past cycle. This is you completely feeling like a different person than where you were yesterday, a week ago, 10 years ago, whatever. This is where you feel re-energized, you feel renewed, you feel reborn, you feel revitalized. You know, if you're not the caterpillar, you're not stuck behind the fence or in the cocoon, you now have these wings. What are you going to do with them first? What are you going to do with that? I see that like really free energy. I hear freedom in your creativity. Metamorphosis is embracing transformation, loving it, deciding to go all in, you know, not holding yourself back. That would be like you put the leash on your own wings and restraining yourself. You're always just going to sit there and like wonder like what it would be like to fly up there, and you can. So give it a go. Things are now different. I really like this because you know that there's supposed to be a change. You know you are starting to feel different. You know you are listening to your gut more about the right partnerships and people and environments that feel like they fit you now. Because we're always evolving and growing and changing. And it is okay to have different energies and, you know, people in your life, places that you go, things that you want to do when you are no longer the same person as you were 20 years ago. I just keep hearing yesterday. I feel like maybe this is you have a breakthrough here. So maybe something, and you have lightning. So maybe something is happening really fast where that's like, you just have an aha or a no mas or whatever it is. And it's just, you're not going to do it like you did yesterday. That's how you're going to change. If you keep repeating something over and over and over and over, and you're desiring something to be different, it's not going to be the different until you do something different. So, I feel like I got all revved up on the energy there. So that being said, I think we should stick to this kind of blue theme. It's the same person that made this Lenormand, that made this tarot, and it's very beautiful. It's the Winter Pastures Tarot. So let's get some tarot messages, see what's going on. Before we do, I'm going to do that little organization of the pile of cards I got going on down here so I can see everything and put the whole reading together. I'll be right back. All right, let's dive into the tarot, get some clarity. You have this beautiful metamorphosis, embracing this transformation. Things just being different now. I feel like this different is good. I do feel like something does with this lightning and breakthrough happen very quickly and in a flash. Maybe trust your gut as all of these changes are happening. I feel like you are feeling lighter, maybe about a decision or your direction. But with this one, I feel like with that dog having the bone right there, you already have exactly what you need innately in you. Your gifts, your talents, just who you are. So maybe it starts with this self-esteem, belief in yourself, awareness. I do feel like the successes are going to keep coming, but even with failures, that's how you learn, that's how you grow. So let's ask about the breakthrough. Being bold. Maybe you were sitting on the fence for a little while, going back and forth, trying to make a decision, maybe getting up there on the fence. Maybe you heard a little something, on the other side of the fence. You're like, I need to see this from a different perspective. So you got up there on the fence, and now you're like, look at how big it is out there. Maybe, you had to think about something for a little bit. If you wanted to give something a go, that's new territory, not sure. But I feel like you were maybe feeling a little fenced in and didn't want to be any more. So you got inspired either by an epiphany moment or maybe a stormy kind of situation, whatever it is. It inspired you to want and desire this expansion, this growth in you or in your life, more freedom. I do feel like you found a way to or through or around or into or a solution, a redirection, an open window, an open back door. If one didn't work, you're trying something a different way until it works. Once it works, you're good to go. So let's ask about the breakthrough. Let's see what's going on with you being bold, being confident, believing in your abilities, believing in who you are becoming. Let's get a little clarity on that breakthrough. What would be helpful to know about this big, bold energy? Please and thank you. Well, that's a really good place to start. You got the Ace of Pentacles. So maybe you found the seed. You found that open door. You found that golden ticket, that opportunity. It's in your hand. But what you have to do is plant it in a solid foundation in the right place where it's going to grow. So it is having recognition. I don't know why. I just saw a banana tree. Let's just say you live in Canada or someplace really cold and you're trying to plant a tropical plant. That wasn't the right foundation. So you either have to plant the evergreen or you got to go down to where bananas grow. You have to make that adjustment somewhere. So your potential, your seed that is going to grow will, because it will, but you have to put that energy into something. Sometimes I see this as a big purchase that's worth it. It's maybe purchasing a tool that you need. It's buying something that's going to be useful for further growth. It's funny. I see once you put this seed in the ground, take it out of the drawer, put your hands in the dirt and start working on whatever this is, a partnership, a new job, a project. It's just an opportunity that you know you want to put effort into. I think if you expected it to just be one tree, I feel like all those seeds or pine cones or whatever fall all over the place. I even see birds and squirrels carrying them even farther. And I feel like if you thought it was going to be a tree, it's not. It's going to be a whole forest. It's going to be really big success. But it takes that one step. And then the next day, another step. And it's continual effort into something. If you plant that garden and then you just let it go, and it gets overrun with weeds, or doesn't get enough water, or doesn't get enough sunlight, and you've given it no attention, you can't be surprised when it didn't grow very big or at all. So let's get clarity, because I really like the Ace of Pentacles energy. I keep seeing bananas now. Maybe it's about potassium. I see somebody like cramping up. Maybe some of you have like cramps at night. It's like about potassium. I am not a nutritionist, but I got those messages, so I hope that's helpful. Maybe it's drinking more water. You do have to water that garden. You also have to take care of your body. I am getting self-care here for some reason. You know, if you have all the ambition in the world and you are the strongest person ever, and you want to go into that garden, but you don't take a little day off or have time to rest and fill up your own plate, you will run on empty, or I just feel like you will get a little bit drained. So I feel like there has to be balance with that particular Ace of Pentacles. I do feel like you know you are strong enough to handle something, but you have to make some kind of adjustment. Clarity on the Ace of Pentacles. Also, the Ace of Pentacles could be a very good offer. Somebody offering you that pentacle. So I do feel like if you thought that pentacle is maybe a little too heavy, or maybe an unusual color or unusual situation, I feel like once you put your hands on it, you're gonna see that, oh, no, this is your pentacle. So if maybe that's what you were trying to decide and you were sitting on the fence, I do feel like you have to have a little more of the experience in your everyday to feel it out. Also, trust your gut. Somebody offers you a pentacle and it doesn't feel like it's the right one. It doesn't feel like that seed's gonna grow in that foundation, or that's not for you in any way. Then it is okay to hand it back, because I feel like you are definitely going to be offered the right pentacle, the right opportunity, the right seed of potential. I do feel like there is somebody recognizing true potential in you. So let's get clarity. What else would be helpful? Please and thank you. The Four of Swords, that's what I saw about resting. It's also taking you back to peace. Being at peace, you know, in yourself, in your energy. I mean, she's so at peace that she's outside sleeping in the cold. She needed a rest or rue, for sure. This is where you are also meditating. So if you are running on empty or confused about how to break through a situation, it's tapping into your inner self. It's sometimes yoga, tuning into your body, but it's becoming mentally clear about a situation. If you are in the energy of worry, even though this is not the Nine of Swords, and you are constantly overanalyzing something to the point where no decision is being made, that's where that energy is, where you just kind of put it aside, put something to rest for a little bit, take your energy in a different direction, maybe go to your little peaceful place or find that place inside of you, and that's where the breakthrough, the solution will come. And then you're going to have that, oh, that's all you needed. It'll feel so much better. It feels like a relief. When this is upside down, I see this as the person who's constantly sleeping with armor on. It's not this beautiful girl acting like Wim Hof out there in the cold and being comfortable with it. It's where even you're going to bed and you're constantly arguing or not connecting to maybe the people around you or the person next to you in bed, and you always feel like you have this big uncomfortable armor on and you don't rest. So it's taking the armor off and maybe addressing something or taking yourself out of a situation. And that doesn't have to be somebody next to you. It could be the energy that you put next to you because of what you go through in the day. Let's get clarity on the Four of Swords. Sleep, feeling at peace, comfortable in your skin, no matter what the weather is. I do feel like the weather's not going to bother you anymore. And I know that's kind of a different energy because these are all kind of like wintry cards. But I feel like whether it's this lightning storm or you can't quite see a situation clearly, I do feel like you've become so comfortable in who you are and honoring yourself that it's kind of like the weather isn't even going to affect you, maybe like how it did in the past. So you're innately in this peaceful energy. And I feel like that's a really good vibration for you to have the right manifesting just start to happen and appear in your life. What else do we need to know? Clarity on the Four of Swords. Ace of Pentacles. Please and thank you. Oh, that's harsh. So maybe this is more than armor on. This is where you do have to trust your gut that there is an old cycle, an old situation that is absolutely done, because that's not energy you want to be in or around anymore. This is definitely, with the two of these, the Four of Swords and the Ten of Swords, putting that past situation that was not, did not feel good to rest. It's harsh. The Ten of Swords is an ending that does happen very fast. It could be like, it's usually the ending of a cycle, but it's like you already have your bags packed and you're half out the door, because that situation with the Ten of Swords never feels good. And you know what feels better is as soon as you're out of it, as soon as you have changed. But that situation doesn't have to be like a partnership. It doesn't have to be a job. It could just be that old cycle of you, an old way of thinking, where you have all of these thoughts that were so fencing you in and getting in your way and being so heavy in your life that's like you've created your own weird fence. So if that breakthrough is how to get out of the Ten of Swords, it's probably the other side of the fence that you don't even want to go back to. You are so relieved that you are out of, and it feels so much better after it's done. When this is upside down, it's kind of like self-sabotage, because you're staying where it never feels good, where it doesn't feel right, where you know it's the old you, and you're so smothered in that energy that you no longer are even clear on your future dreams or in what could be, because you've accepted that, which I don't think you are anymore. I think that's why you have a breakthrough. And this is a very softened version of this particular energy, because none of these swords are actually touching this guy. They're not really holding him down. He just has to open his eyes and get up and walk away from all of that harsh energy. Clarity on the Ten of Swords. Not my favorite energy to come out, but if it came out, it needed to be heard, because I feel like that is where you are definitely trusting your gut. You have all of this metamorphosis and change. And it's probably because that is the cycle you are no longer supposed to be in. What is a message? And I actually do like this, because you have the lilies in the most unlikely place, in the middle of a snowstorm. You have these beautiful lilies, which usually for me represent spiritual love, unconditional love, also strength. I think of the Annunciation, just kind of welcome to my brain. But I just think of when Gabriel went down to Mary, and usually the artistic depictions of Gabriel for the 3 days, that he was hanging out with Mary. Usually he's like pointing that lily. So there's something very spiritual about a lily, and it's also growing and blossoming in the most unlikely of places. This is the hope. This is that miracle that's coming in. And the lily also is peace. It's right there. Maybe you have to have peace with an ending not working out so well. But after you get past that moment, it will work out better. It will get better. It's like once you hit that rock bottom energy, the only way is up. And it looks like your energy is heading right towards success, peace, expansion, intuitiveness, the right people that will support you along the path in your dreams, who you are. What is the next thing you need to know to be helpful? It's that you have victory. You have the Six of Swords. It's beautiful. At the bottom, you have the Eight of Cups. So you have two endings here. The Eight of Cups is where you decide you're leaving the uncomfortable comfort zone, because it really stopped feeling comfortable. It's a bittersweet ending because you worked on something. You have to have peace in yourself that sometimes you start to build something and it stops growing. Maybe that banana tree started to grow a little bit in the summertime in Canada, but then it just didn't work. It's where you put time and love and attention and energy into something, and it was growing for a little while because you stayed there for a little bit. But then something wasn't working anymore. Something wasn't fulfilling anymore. Something wasn't building or growing. And it's choosing to go on your own journey of self-discovery. It's choosing that where you were accepting comfortability is not as good as getting a little uncomfortable, expanding to where you don't know, to have the energy of self-discovery of who you really are, because that's going to take you to your wish come true. But you got to go on that journey. You got to go learn about a new territory. But I feel like this is where you're learning more about yourself in whatever situation you are, you know, walking into or going towards or is coming in on that journey. You are discovering more about yourself. And once you see that new you, even if you go back to the old situation or whatever, you've just changed so much, you see it in a totally different perspective. It's really a strong energy, the Eight of Cups. But it does take taking a couple steps, getting a little uncomfortable before you get even more comfortable than you ever have been. But you just didn't know. Here, it's staring at that garden, wishing it would grow, and it's just not. It's not getting any bigger. Nothing ever changes. You don't ever feel right no matter what you tried to do. But then not changing. It's that doing something the same way all the time, but not making a change in you or a change in what you're doing or a change in the foundation, a change somewhere so there can be that change. It's wanting the change, but not doing the work it takes to get it. Here, you're really deciding to follow the truth of your heart, and it's taking you to victory. It's bringing you success. Look at all the enthusiasm in that card. And this is where it comes after some hardship. It takes a little work, you know, to have that big game that you win. Even if you won every practice match, you were still working out in the gym, you know. Or if this is having an A on a test, maybe you automatically got an A because you really just got that information in class. But maybe there's another test that you have to do a little extra studying on. It's where you still went through something to get that success. Sometimes it does come easy and sometimes it doesn't. But it's being recognized for that success either way. This is others recognizing how you are just different. How did you break through? How did you make all those changes in your life? And I do feel like this person inspires others that it's okay. They can also succeed. They can also do something different. They can also give something a go. Even if they're just seeing this successful moment. When this is this way, it's that person up there on the high horse, and eventually you're going to get very, very saddle sore if you don't get off the horse. Ground yourself and get back to work. Or put some more passion into what inspires you. What, you know, sparks your soul a little bit, because it's Wanz. I feel like you are succeeding here with like flying colors. I feel like she has sparklers in her hands. And she's like, oh yeah? You know, all these snowflakes, you're not going to see me coming. I'm going to hold my fireworks up so you see me coming. So I feel like there is a lot of confidence in that. And that's like the person that's on stage being noticed. But there's a reason that they are there. So I do see your successes inspiring others. Maybe because you broke through, you're helping somebody else get a little glimpse of how their life can be a different way too, if they do something different or make a change that was needed. So that's really cool. These were a lot of messages. It was kind of intense reading today. So let's get an angel number from this deck. What is this one angel number message? Synchronistic sort of energy that would be helpful for you. please and thank you. Oh, it's beautiful. If you had these clouds here before, I feel like you're even seeing the clouds differently. You may find yourself inspired to look up at the clouds overhead. There it is, an angel in all its glory, watching over you. And I feel like this is just your awareness that you are being divinely guided all of the time. So, you know, if you're staring down at the ground, I feel like that is the lift of spirituality that is going to, I hear, draw you in a different direction. Maybe it's drawing outside of the lines. Should we get a rock star? Sure. I don't even know if any, I don't know if any music came through. But I will always find a playlist for you guys for some extra inspiration. One more message, please. And, ooh, that one wanted to jump. Who's jumping at us? David Bowie. Yeah, he would be the one to jump. Love David Bowie. Appreciate your change. That's why I wanted to jump. Appreciate your, where's your transformation? Your changing ways. Where is it? All your gratitude towards this. I have no idea. Now I was all organized and now I'm all over the place again. Here, your metamorphosis. Things are now different. Transformation and embrace transformation. It is what it is, and it is pretty awesome. And so is David Bowie. You also have the starfish. What does it say? Let me see. There's tiny little words. Hold on, we got an extra message. Oh, I'm so excited. What does it say? If a starfish loses arms, it can grow new ones. So whatever you thought you were going to lose by walking away or by changing or expanding or even being at peace with something, whatever you thought you were gonna lose, you're gonna grow back in abundance. You're gonna grow back even better, even stronger. I feel like there is something that you have lost or going to, but it's giving you the space you need for something pretty amazing to come in. I also just keep seeing his eyes. So I do feel like this transformation is unusual. And maybe the thing that you are growing or that's coming in is absolutely, I mean, with that 10 of Swords, you would hope it's not like that last, like, thank you, no thank you next from the last chapter. But whatever is coming in is going to be so unusual and beautiful and unexpected that I don't feel like you can even foresee how amazing it's going to be for you. And it's going to be the exact fit for what you need, where you're going, and how you are evolving. And I feel like it's really beautiful and it's going to feel very natural. And with this, I bid you adieu. I hope this reading was helpful. I hope you have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for being here with me. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I love you so much.